How you going, Timmy?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
I am fucking...
Been a while.
It has been. I've been meaning to catch up for a bit. We saw you here today, and you brought to our attention some of the issues that are coming into play as far as putting on a show, a festival, anything like that, because of certain things that have come into effect recently, as far as taxes and politics and
Oh, yes, bigger issues within the industry, really.
yeah.
You know, don't know how many people actually know about it yet, because everyone's still trying to navigate how to work it out. But yeah, basically, there's a whole lot of stuff happening with the payday super thing that could really impact our entire industry.
Yeah.
You know,
what's the worst that could happen? What's the very worst that could happen from these changes about having to pay super to everyone?
Well, see, here's the thing. It's not just having to pay super. It's having to pay super to every band member who doesn't have a manager, or every band that isn't classified as a business entity. And you have to pay the individual members super into their account at the same time you pay the band, on top of what you're already paying the band.
Yeah.
You know,
and you've got to calculate that yourself.
Well, exactly. You know, it's a straight 12%, but it's the quickest impact we'll see straight away is we'll see ticket prices go up.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, guys like me and stuff, we don't make a huge amount from putting on shows. Anything we do make tends to go into the next one.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden there's going to be less because, you know, we've got $5 put in here or $100 put in there, or on top of what we're already paying the bands.
Yeah.
And that's now apparently mandatory, no matter what, no matter how much the band is earning, no matter how many times you have them on, because under the new legislations, technically every band member is an employee of you for the day.
A daily employee.
Which is terrifying because, you know, you look at the potential on-flow of that.
Yeah.
You know, how long will it be till they're starting to ask us to do work cover on a show? Now, work cover insurance is not cheap in the first place, but when you start to add it just as a daily thing for one show,
it blows out, man.
Navigating, it's not just the actual cost. The cost can be cushioned by ticket prices, which, yes, higher ticket prices are going to result in less people coming to shows.
Yeah.
We're in a cost of living crunch. So that's already a contributing factor as to lower attendance at shows.
Yeah.
But then when you add on top of, so say on a festival like I do with Metal on Murray,
yeah,
I've got roughly 70 people's super to pay into each individual account following the show.
I mean, how do you even fucking start to think about doing that?
It's mind-boggling. Like, I'm not going to lie, there has been some very rough sleeping nights, and there's been a lot of conversations between some of my mates and my wife and everything like that. Like, how do we move forward with hosting a music festival like we do with Metal on Murray? And it's like, from everything we can see at the moment it's just simply, you've got to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
and
so there's potentially 70 people's details you've got to get before the show,
yeah,
and then sit down after the show and start doing all that inputting and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you're putting on a festival, not a fucking tax return.
Well, so here's the thing. I can understand how the model looks for covers bands who have a residency at a pub.
Yep.
So they're playing there for 4 weeks straight. They get paid, you know, 5, 6, 10 grand or whatever over that few weeks. They are almost an employee.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they should be operating as their own business if they are making that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, they invoice the pub for what they play.
Mm-hmm.
They add GST. Now, if they are technically a service, isn't the onus on them to pay their own super?
Of course.
You don't get a plumber out and see the plumber's super details on the bottom of the invoice saying, hey, here's my super details, pay me super.
Yeah.
It's the only industry at the moment, well, I shouldn't say only industry, because it's also applying to sporting clubs and things like that as well. Basically anything. Yeah. Basically, so if you're a footballer getting paid $50 a week by your sporting club, that sporting club now has to pay you 12% super on top of that on top of that $50. If you are an actor in a play, if you are going to film a video clip for a band, the band has to pay you super. Right now, in these sorts of services, there's usually a GST as well.
Yeah.
So it's honest double dipping.
Yeah.
You know, the government is asking you to pay 10% for a goods and service tax.
Yep.
So I'm getting taxed on having the service. But then because I have the service, the government's sitting there saying, well, technically they're your employee for the day, so now you pay them super.
Look, when the GST was brought in, right, they said it will never go above 10%. Do you think this is a way of getting above 10% without?
The only reason why is because these super payments go directly into the person's super.
Yeah.
So there's no government involvement with that.
There is at the moment.
But if you don't, well, yeah, they do tax your super.
They're starting to dip into it,
well,
too.
They tax your super, yes.
Yeah.
If you don't, thank you. If you don't, see, here's the biggest thing. You know, you can sit there and say, oh, we're not going to do it. Right. The thing is, if you get caught not doing it, the penalties and fines and potential audits that flow after are massive.
Yeah.
I mean, like say for, 7 HP.
Yeah.
We've been operational now for 13 years. They could go back through our records for the last 13 years, all of a sudden tell us that we have to pay every one of those musicians super for the last 13 years. Even on the shows where we've had to pay musicians out of our own pocket.
Well, that would just bankrupt you, wouldn't it?
It wouldn't put me in a good spot. I mean, yeah, it may only be payments of $5, $10,
but it's several
$12 into, 4 or 5 people's accounts. But, just on Medal on Murray for the last 2 Medal on Murrays, we've had 26 bands, sound and lighting, photography. And yeah,
it's
it's huge. If you add up how many band members and stuff, we're talking hundreds of people's details we've got to get.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, sort out super for.
That just fucking...
And it was over the last 13 years.
Fuck me.
There's people I don't even talk to anymore because their bands don't exist anymore. It is an absolute nightmare.
You're getting raw dogged by the fucking government. That's what it is. They're making you do something that should not fucking be done.
It seems like an actual... So here's the thing. There's a lot of covers bands and things like that. They haven't been paying their own super. They run as a business, but they haven't been paying into their own super. For some reason, they are looked at like a protected species. They're told, yeah, you may be operating as a business, but you know what? And you should be paying your own super. But you know what? Now the onus is on someone else. It's on the venues, or if the venue is using a booking agent like myself, it's on me. But then you've got the other inflow of that. So now bands have to work out how we're going to move forward. Do we make it difficult?
Where do you start?
Well, here's the thing. Do we make it difficult for promoters like myself and stuff by still acting as 5 dudes just hopping up? where all 5 of us need to have our date of birth, full legal name, tax file number, and super number ready for them, just so they can pay the band, right? If one band member doesn't provide those details, you've got to hold payment for the entire band. Now, how wild is that? Now, there have been times where it has taken me up to 2 or 3 months to get a band's bank details for who to pay to. Can you imagine trying to chase up 4 or 5 people's super details?
No,
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. I cannot imagine it.
And yes, there's software and everything like that out there that, you can put all that information in and it will sort it all out for you. But the thing is the automatic changes we're going to see from it will be inflated ticket prices.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the person putting on the show has to recoup what they're paying out in some sort of way. We're also going to see a lot of cancellations. We've already seen 2 jazz festivals in New South Wales. Well, I think one in New South Wales, one in Queensland, cancelled. Because they'll have over 100 to 150 performers throughout that festival.
Yeah.
And can you imagine the sheer logistics of inputting all that information and stuff?
Fuck no. No way.
So all of a sudden,
you got to put on a fucking accountant as well and pay them GST.
You either have an accountant,
and fucking super.
You either have an accountant or you spend 2-3 days yourself, inputting information and doing paperwork.
Mate, to me that just
Where's the fun in that? We organise shows like this is the thing. This entire model and initiative is very based towards career musicians and stuff, but it doesn't take into account the people who are doing it to try to just do something.
Yeah.
To just have some fun. It really hurts the original music industry really hardly.
Yeah.
Because now even an audio engineer that we're paying to record us, now their invoice may have GST on it.
Yeah.
We're going to pay their super as well.
This is fucked up, mate.
You will see a lot of people
I really do.
turn around and go, this is too hard, bastard.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is going to make, next thing you know, like you say, fucking festivals get cancelled. Festivals might turn from festivals into fewer bands.
Well, so here's just an easy, quick breakdown. That show that you're paying $25 for to see 4 bands is now all of a sudden going to be $35 to $40.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt attendance numbers.
Yeah, of course.
But also then you're going to sit there and go, Struth, I'm going to do all this work after. Is that worth it? I'm making nothing off of this.
Yeah.
Can I do this?
It's your time.
Everyone's passionate, but passion can only go so far.
Yeah, of
It
course.
can only do so much for you. It's a rough thing to navigate.
Dude, it's a killer. It's a live music killer. It's a fucking live fucking acting killer.
I've already started to see venues who only have covers bands or DJs on, right?
Go on.
But because they pay directly to the bands or the DJs, they've stopped doing bands and DJs now because of it, because of the extra paperwork.
Mate, it's just, to me, I'm flabbergasted. I'm befuddled and I'm fucking bemused by the entire fucking thing. Honestly.
It is an absolute rot.
Shits me to fucking no end to know that this is the sort of shit you've got to go through now just to put on a fucking festival for people who just want to fucking have a good day.
Even just a show.
Yeah.
Like the ones I do with Northern Sound Systems and stuff.
Exactly.
Because all of a sudden, they sit there and fix me up from the ticket, after the ticket cut and stuff. They've got to pay me super.
Yeah.
And then all the bands I've got to pay after, I've got to pay them super. Now,
dude, I'm struggling.
There's a whole lot of jokes going around. You can just move to just paying cash, or you can buy a T-shirt for $200 or whatever, right? To cover the band payment.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if the tax department do an audit on you, they see that money come in from, say, Mosh or Oztix or whatever,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden, 2-3 days later, you're doing a bunch of payments, say, gift or merch, they're going to sit there, they are going to ping you.
They are. One way or another,
You know.
they'll get you. And that's fucked.
They are trying to basically trace everything.
Mate, it's fucked. That's what it is. Let's call it what it is. It's fucked.
It's a very unwell thought out thing, and it's like, yeah, you know what? These musicians, if they're making enough that this is part of their income stream, then like any other business,
Yeah.
they should be doing their own super.
Yeah.
They're choosing not to, and everyone else is getting affected and penalised because of it.
Yeah.
You know, as far as bands go, you know, the options we have moving forward is, do we organise ourselves as a business entity?
Yeah.
So then, because one of the clauses is, if you're paying to a business entity, there's no super.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, well, do we make ourselves a business entity? But then you're entering into a partnership, which bands are volatile in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it makes you really sit there and go, right, if I'm entering into a business partnership with these 5 people, what if one of them has to leave?
Yeah.
What if one of them gets in debt and stuff? Once you're in that business partnership dynamic, there can be repercussions back on that. Because you're entering into a legal agreement with each other.
Yeah.
Then you've got, if we don't, who's going to want to book us? Because I'm not going to lie to you. If I got 2 bands sitting in front of me, one of them is that business entity that I don't have to pay super to, and the other one isn't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to pick the one that I don't have to do extra paperwork for.
Of course.
You know, and then we get down to the small management places. Because if you've got management, the payment goes to management, which is a business.
Yeah.
So there's no super that's being incurred on top of that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. The managers now have to pay 12% to the band. Now, if you are running a management firm and say you're copying 10% off of a $300 payment, so you're making $30 off of what they've made.
Yep.
Now, still technically they've been paid $300. So to each of those members in that band, you have to do 12% of that $300 to them. Because the super does not come out of the whole amount, it's on top of the whole amount.
I'm sorry,
So
mate.
who's going to want to sit there and manage bands anymore?
Dude, I'm absolutely flummoxed over this whole fucking thing. To me, it's an absolute fucking betrayal of anything that's fucking good.
Oh, it's
in this
un-Australian.
world. Absolutely.
You know, it's... And the thing is, it's not just the music industry.
No.
It's the entire arts industry.
Yeah.
So somebody performing in a play, if they're getting
same
paid
thing.
for performing in the play, they need to get paid super. The person filming the play, even though they may be charging as a business and getting their and charging for GST, they still need to be paid their super.
Yeah.
Now, this is the biggest thing that boggles my mind, is how is a sound engineer or a film company or something like that who are running as a business, because if they're classified as a sole trader, you have to pay their super.
Right.
If they are running as a business entity, which is a partnership, you don't. But if they are a sole trader, boom, super.
Well, that's probably a good word to end it.
Yeah.
Boom. It's a bomb that's gonna fucking go off. And it's gonna blow everything up, mate.
Look,
It's a shame.
I've already seen multiple shows in regional areas and things like that that are getting cancelled because of it.
Yeah. That's just the beginning.
And the thing is, I've spoken to quite a few of my mates in the industry and stuff, not just here in Adelaide, but interstate as well.
Yeah.
And we're all asking, how do we navigate this?
Take the blame for it.
Yeah.
How do you do it? I mean, yeah.
I mean, look,
It's a question, mate.
with 7 HP, we will still. We've moved Metal on Murray 10
Yeah,
because that's the next one is number 10.
yeah,
We literally turned around and said, right, we need some more time to work this out.
yeah.
So next year you will see Metal on Murray 10. It'll happen again.
Awesome.
It may be the last,
Not so awesome.
depending on. And it's funny to sit there and say it may be the last, and it's not dependent on how many people turn up or how many or anything like that.
Yeah.
And normally that's the point where you're sitting there saying, look, if nobody rocks up, this will be the last. This is not that sort of situation at all.
No.
But depending on how much extra work and stuff, is involved,
Yeah.
it's like,
Well, is there
we
a point?
love what we do. Like we do. But we put in hours upon hours upon hours of work.
course.
And we don't make real money or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's not the sort of thing where you're sitting there doing a tax form about it
No.
because you've made that much or anything like that.
Yeah,
But it's sucking, just even thinking about it is demotivating and sucking the fun out of what we do. And when is
it enough?
passion has its limits.
Yeah. Well, mate, look, I hope that fucking Metal on Murray 10 is not the last, and I hope
So do I.
We're behind.
we're
you.
behind
So
you
do I.
100%. And we just wanted to bring this to light.
Yeah. Oh, look,
Because-
it's actually an important issue because
Yeah,
while and some people know about it, it's not common knowledge.
no.
People would just start seeing shows cancelled and be like, well, why?
Yeah,
Like there was one show I saw that was cancelled regionally recently,
yeah,
and it's just been said that it's cancelled.
yeah,
But this is one of the contributing factors to it.
yeah,
I know that for a fact because I know the promoter is a mate of mine.
yeah.
And-
Fuck, mate.
Yeah, but hey, for the shows that are still going on and stuff, get out to them, get around it, support it.
Fucking oath. Get in
The industry's already bleeding.
there. Yeah. We don't want to see
This-
it bleed out, mate.
This still hurts more. And you know what? If anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out. We are trying to get as much information as we can
Yeah,
to navigate it.
yeah,
Always here to help anyone.
yeah.
I'm trying to work out how to navigate it for my own bands and for the promotions company.
Well,
So, if anyone needs any help, please reach out. Always here to answer any questions about it. And yeah, you may start to hear quite a bit of noise about it soon
hope so.
because people are really starting to notice it and understand it. And once they start doing audits and stuff, trust me, everyone will be making a lot of noise about it then.
Fucking oath.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
So, yeah.
Well, thanks
Yeah.
for sitting down with us, man. That was so good.
Always a pleasure,
And
mate.
we're just trying to get the
Always
word out,
good seeing
man.
you.
And fucking, yeah, I hope we get the word
Yeah.
out by doing something like this today.
Let's just all keep our fingers crossed that this is just a
Absolutely.
temporary measure.
Yeah, I don't want to see it.
And
permanent.
they cop some sense and going, right, while this applies to some people,
Yeah,
it still bogs my own appliance to some, like even covers musicians and stuff. You're running a business,
Yeah.
do your super. It's not somebody else's job, it's yours.
yeah, exactly. 100%.
You know?
Well,
Yeah.
I hope it fucks off soon.
Yeah.
I hope it all works out for you, mate.
Fingers crossed.
All right, dude.
Yeah,
Thanks for fucking meeting up with us.
Love you guys.
Cheers, Timmie.